You have three ways of smoking city. One is the one that you did, which was flushed like this. Okay? Then we got another flushed, which is this with yellow. Okay? Then we got another one, which is this with green. All right?
Yeah.
Which smoke is better there? Is it red, yellow, or green? Do you know the answer? In this video, I went ahead and coached one of my students live on stream while he was playing Omen on the map Haven. We went over on what are the best smokes on the map Haven, what is a flush smoke, and how to do them, and how he could have done his decision making better so he could have more easily clutched around for his team and himself, and especially make the best out of a very bad situation. Also, do you want to know the answer to your question? Let's get into the video. How to aim at smokes. So, when you want to aim at a smoke, you never aim at the middle of it, all right? Or anywhere that your crosshair is. You always aim at one of the edges, either the blue edge or the right edge, all right? Then you have to think to yourself which edge has a higher chance of enemy to peek out from. So, then you calculate the possibilities. So, if they come from the blue edge, they open themselves to graffiti, to Cypher, to me, and they open themselves more to also default and also short as well. Okay, that's if they come from the blue edge. If they come from the yellow edge, what are they opening themselves to? Again, to me, to Cypher, to Under Heaven as well, to also graffiti. But now they're not opening themselves to default, are they? So that's one less possibility. So what you do, you go and position yourself a bit more to the left, like around middle of the graffiti, and then aim at the blue, yellow edge. So that's why, and I'm not saying that, hey, this is a very higher chance. This is like a 60%. This is like a 40%. Okay? So you're just eliminating one of the possibilities. So if they come from the 60%, you manage to get the kill, but you have to be ready to flick to this one as well. But if you're aiming at the middle, you're just forcing yourself to flick at one of the two. First off, I'm going to explain to you the mechanic of the way that you should do the smokes in general, and that is a concept of flush smokes. Okay? So what is a flush smoke? We have two type of smokes. One would be like this, and one would be like this. Okay? So which one is a better smoke?
I think the red one.
The red one, exactly. Why? It's because with the blue is you're giving way too much space to the enemies to just pick you. You're giving them new angles. But the red one, enemy just works. It has to work with the angles the map has given them, which is the walls here. All right? So that is the flush smoke. You always want your smokes to be in a way that you don't add an extra angle to the way that enemies have to play. So then your garage smoke, is it flushed? No. So it should be like this. You see? So that way, enemies would have to only work with what the map gives them. Right now, your smoke, they could come out of it from here, they could come from here, or from here. You're giving them new angles and new advantages. For city smoke, you have three ways of smoking city. One is the one that you did, which was flushed like this. Okay? Then we got another flushed, which is this with yellow. Okay? Then we got another one, which is this with green. All right?
Yeah.
So could you tell me at what scenarios each smoke is better?
I think when you're like in a corner of C, like the left top corner on the minimap, then you smoke the green one. The red one when you are coming from garage, and the yellow one I'm not sure.
Yeah, you said it perfectly for the red and green. However, for yellow is for post plants. So the reason why you do that yellow, and let's say a post plant that you have allies holding from here, this area. Okay, so not from the one you said. You said from here is the green. Okay, so if you have allies on the yellow, the reason why yellow smoke is good is because you're, again, remember, as a controller, you have this power to make the enemies think what they want, what you want them to think. All right. So the enemy think that, oh, this smoke is in a way that I can go and pick from here. So what do? You hold this. The chances of them coming from here is much lower than them going to here. Can you tell me why?
Yeah. Probably because they want to see cover from the boxes.
They have the cover from this wall, so they
Oh,
won't get open to backside slash the green. They
yeah.
only open themselves to this yellow line. And again, you're making them think what you want them to think. So then what happens? You have your cursor there, easy kill. You go next. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why you do that. So the best smokes now on A side, sorry, Seaside Heaven. So these are the best smokes on Seaside Heaven. So when you're attacking from long, the best one obviously is this one. All right. However, we have another one which is at the very edge of this box up here. Now, why is that smoke good? Because it creates a one way for you guys to check backside. If there is an enemy wanting to pick from the backside, you sit on their legs, you start shooting. Okay. However, with the smoke that you did, what if there was an enemy behind plat? Now you just gave him free cross to backside. It's not really that good. And then if you do the smokes, this is something that a lot of people do a mistake. When they garage a smoke, if you want to also smoke city, they do it immediately after smoking city. And that is wrong because you're wasting your city smoke. You should walk up all the way to here, and that's when you do the city smoke. So that way your city smoke won't get wasted by the time that you go from here to here. You're just wasting it for like 3 to 5 seconds, especially if you're getting delayed by the enemies.
Yeah.
And so make sure that you do the smokes on a good timing. One thing that I'm noticing is that whenever you're starting to talk, your other things goes to 0. Like let's say you say I'm smoking, but look, you don't go into your shadow form until you end your talking. Can't you be in your shadow form and do the same thing?
Yeah. I don't know why I do that, but I have like my push to talk button on the middle mouse button. It's pretty weird.
It's very bad. You should change that.
Yeah.
Definitely. You should
I
100%
should.
change that.
I should. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is that remember that you can walk in your shadow form. You can run around. So if your raise is with you, you can just keep going into your shadow form and go to the corner if you want. And that way you just do the smokes quicker. It helps you to smoke quicker. And then as we can see, you have just again so much delay on using your smoke that your allies are open to heaven right now, but the smoke is not there. One of the best Omen flashes, this is one of the best flashes on a site when you're going heaven. So is that you go in this corner, go here, and you do the flash like this. Look at how much space you're getting with that flash. You get graffiti, you get backside, you get hell as well. You can also aim it a little bit more to the left if you feel like there's no one on side to basically get what? Graffiti, a little bit of backside, and enemies spawn so they don't just push out of that smoke. Or if you're going from a long, you stand here and you do the smoke, flash like this. So it would be like this. So I guess all of short helps your ally that are coming from short, and also backside and enemies spawn. And now this is the mechanic of Omen Flash. So what you should do when you're using the Omen Flash, if you run forward and throw it, your flash goes faster and further. If you run backward and throw it, your flash goes slower and less further. And if you stand still, it goes at the normal pace. But you want your flash to reach enemies as quick as possible, right? So that's why you mostly want to run forward to use your flash. Hi, Urta. Art. All right. Any question for that?
No.
All right. So look at this. When you do this flash, a little bit here. At the end of throwing it, you see that you're moving backward. And that makes your flash to go slower. So make sure that you don't do that mistake. So you stand with a bit space between you and the box, run forward and throw it. What do I hear? I hear a neon going to long right now, and then I see race. So let's say even though you didn't understand that that's a neon, okay? Think about your game sense here. Let me increase the volume a bit.
One behind.
Right now, you're hearing one person around a lobby because it doesn't sound like a sand, does it? So that's a lobby. So then Once you come here, you're still hearing that A lobby on your left ear, but suddenly Raisin's in front of you. How can she immediately go from that A lobby sound to be in front of you? It's not possible, is it? So that's how you know that there was another person on flank as well. And if you don't see her after killing Raze, where is she? Long. Process of elimination. So that way you could have also understand it based off your game sense. Let me go back here. Why are your smokes bad? So the first smoke, you just randomly threw it, I would say. It's not really that precise because you're rushing it. So the first smoke should have been flushed between this box up to here. We have two type of smokes when you're attacking B. One is this, one is the yellow. Can you tell me why each one is good?
Because if you do the red one, it will be harder for the enemy to, if you like plan on the front, to peek out, they'll have to full swing. And
Yeah.
when you do the yellow one, they have less ways to peek, or like yeah, it's gonna be harder for them to go out, something like that.
Okay. So we have to check the pros and cons. Yellow one, the pros is that it makes it much more difficult for enemies to come into the B side and makes them basically stuck on A link until the smoke is gone. Because it's such a tiny choke, and if someone's holding that choke and they're swing out without a flash, they're dead. Right? And however, the cons of it is that if there is an enemy backside, what is it called? It's not getting smoked. So the red one does a smoke backside, right? And if there is an enemy backside, they get blocked. And if the enemy tries to swing you from that smoke, you have to understand that the smokes have a mechanic that whenever you want to swing from the smoke, you see that your vision gets blinded for like half a second. So the person who's swinging the smoke always has a disadvantage toward the person that is holding the smoke because they get that half a second blind effect. So that's another thing about smokes too. So if that person tries to swing the planter, what happens if someone's holding that smoke? They're dead. Simple as that. And then it's also, as I said, blocking backside. However, it has a con. Can you tell me what is the con?
No.
So the con is that people from A link can go into backside without any fear or scare. So the yellow one stops them, but the red one says come in for free. Right? That's the con of it.
Yeah.
However, now you have to understand the game and the way that it's being played. You see that there is already an enemy on the backside. So when there's already an enemy there, which one is better?
The red one.
Exactly, the red one. So you do that smoke, but you just do it with a rush, and that's why it wasn't really good, because it wasn't precise. And then your second smoke is the same thing. So for the second smoke onto the ceiling, you never want to smoke here. It's only the yellow. Can you tell me why?
Because it's a smaller space.
That is one reason, yes. It's not the main reason, however.
Oh, they won't smoke ceiling or something like that.
No. So let me tell you. If you smoke it like this, let's say even if you smoke it flush and perfect, all right? If the enemy go here at the edge, they can easily kill the planter. Either from here or here.
Yeah.
Because the way that the map is shaped. However, with the A-Link one, they cannot do that, can they? Right? So that's why you only go for this. There's also, however, another smoke, which is at the very edge of the box here. And that one creates a one-way to ceiling. However, it's only a one-way. Let me reopen my drawing. It's only a one-way if you're going from here on stairs and from the right side, and you stand here. If you're on site, it's not a one-way. So if you want to do that smoke, you can either you yourself or one of your allies tell them, hey guys, I'm one-way ceiling. One of you stand around here and hold that one-way for me. So they stand here, hold the one-way. If enemies are coming from the ceiling, easy kill. Apollo is saying, coach, how can I find a GF in Valorant? You
just
don't?
don't. Valorant players don't.
Really?
Just how it works.
Then how do I see so many people having girlfriends in Valorant?
because they met in other games.
Oh, what game would you say is the best game to find girlfriend in?
Gmod.
This is the best economy management for the game Valorant. Okay, so far. So if you lose the first round, what do you do? Second round, you go for a full save. Third round, you go for a full buy rifle. Okay, as simple as that. If you win the first round, second round, you go for a full buy. What that is, first you buy Spectre, then full shield, then as much utility as you can. All right. Then third round, you go for a bonus round. What that is, you keep whatever you have from the second to the third round, and no matter if you win the second round, lose, die, no matter what happens, you need to maintain a minimum of 4,200 minimum credit for your next round, for the fourth round. Where you see that? Up here, minimum credit. Okay. Then on the fourth round, since you saved 4,200, you go for a full buy rifle. Any question?
No.
All right. So after this first four rounds are over, you enter the mid part of the half. All right. In the mid part of the half until the very end, whenever you win a round, you full buy no matter what, unless your team wants to save. Whenever you lose a round, you consider saving. And by that, you have to look at your team economy. If 3 or more people on my team are buying, I buy with them even if I don't have money to do so. If 3 or more people on your team are saving, you save with them even if you have money to full buy. And remember, in any round that you're saving, you can always buy whatever you want up to minimum next round 4,200. Any question?
Okay. No.
All right, so that's the economy of Valorant. So here you see that we just won last round. I have enough money to go for a full buy. You should do the full buy. So what do? If you want your utility, you go for a rifle low shield and utility. If you don't, you go for a rifle full shield. But rifle low shield would have been the play here. Or you ask your chamber to sell one thing because it's just 100 credit away. It just sells one thing and buys for you. All right, so just like team session, what did you learn?
Well, what did I learn? That I should really work on my game sense. That I should read my enemies, be more aware of sounds and my economy. Work on smokes, and in general, just play with the team.
What is the main thing from these things that you said?
The main thing.
Yep.
I think the game sense.
Why is that important?
Because that pretty much sums up reading enemies, using smokes. It basically lets you interpret. Sorry, I can't.
No, you're good. You're good.
Basically, it helps you know where the enemies are to be prepared for it. Something like
Yep,
that.
and you saw that there was so many rounds that if you would have the game sense, you could have just secured it much easier.
Yeah.
Yep. Game sense, as we saw, it comes down to way too many things: reading your map, reading the enemy playstyle, and just thinking about the game in general. I would say that your aim is pretty decent. The only thing that you have to work on your aim is your crosshair placement. Like if you manage to perfect that crosshair placement and improve your game sense, just like the way that we talked, is your at least are going to be ascendant easily. And I promise you that. Just work for it and you will be ascendant. You have a good aim, stop swapping your guns in between. And I would say that Omen is a good agent actually for you, but the only issue that you have with him is that you're not really familiar with him as much. Like you don't really use your smokes as much and as quick. You don't use your flashes as much and correctly. And you sometimes underuse your teleport. Yeah, like you could have just used your teleport much more. And when you see an Omen that doesn't really use his ult and is saving it most of the time, you know that that Omen is not an Omen main. You have to use your ult so much more because remember that you're just gonna get it back. Don't try to wait for that perfect scenario to use your ult. As I counted for you, you had at least 5 scenarios that you could have used your ult.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. If you don't have any question, that's it for our session.
Nope, don't have any question anymore.
Alrighty then, perfect. So until the next time, I'll talk with you again, alright?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Alrighty then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. If you're interested in coaching yourself, click the link in the description, click the book a lesson button, and select your plan and time. And that's it for today's video. Now get out of here and climb!